It's always a tragedy when something totally avoidable happens, and this is exactly why people go towards a conspiratorial place in situations like this. We found out about this New Orleans Bourbon Street thing no more than a few hours ago, and we already are finding out that the primary reason that this happened is because the barriers were down because they were being replaced. So, you have this street that's less than a mile long, very narrow, two main points of entry to go from one end to the other. The rest of them would just be like the side streets. And the freaking there's just plastic barriers there, like this orange thing that you see right here in this picture. That's what was up. That was the barrier. And like, how difficult is it to have two police cars parked in front of the entrance to block it off? You see police cars as barriers all the time. So this is on the police chief, or the police lieutenant, just as much as the terrorist. Like, you expect terrorists to do terroristic things. It's going to happen. There's people that hate America, that want to kill people in America. They're going to try and do that. But you expect law enforcement to do those logical things that would stop that from happening and make it as not likely as possible. So you have this guy who is being reported had an ISIS flag on the back of his truck, right? And I'll show you that too. So from Breaking 911, Zero Hedge posted it. Suspect identified. The suspect in the New Orleans attack was identified as 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar, who has an ISIS flag. He was reportedly born and raised in Texas and served in the U.S. Army. See, now that's a different report than what I saw before. What I saw before said that he came across the border on November 16th. 2 hours ago, Charlie Kirk reports that it was 2 days ago that this guy crossed through the Mexican border, but then Fox News retracted that statement, which is where Charlie sourced it from, saying that he crossed it back in November, I think November 16th to be exact. So to say the least, it's a little bit foggy right now as to where exactly the guy came from and what his intentions were. But one thing that's crystal clear, to me at least, is that the police superintendent is just as guilty as this terrorist here. Watch. This is the precise reason why this happened.
Have these hydraulic steel barriers from past events. Last Mardi Gras, this happened to an extent, maybe not terrorism, but still people getting hit in mass population with vehicles. Those barricades were not up, period. They had the flimsy orange ones that you could just push over with your finger. We actually thought it was kind of odd because usually when you get to Bourbon Street, you can turn your back to Canal and not worry about anything. You can just walk the street, especially on New Year's, and there were still vehicles coming after 8 p.m. And then
why?
I mean, the fact that they never raised them. That's how this guy was able to get down Bourbon Street so quickly and cause so much damage. Because there's other barricades past the Canal and Bourbon intersection. There's more like every 2-3 blocks. So what was 10 or 15 dead and 30 wounded could have only been maybe 5 and 15. I mean, who can say, but it definitely would have been minimalized because this truck could not go around those barricades. Everything in New Orleans in the French Quarter has a balcony. All the balconies have poles, several steel poles, and there's no going around anything.
This piece of shit, this idiot right here, she should be charged with a crime. This is the lady, who sounds like an idiot, by the way, who's in charge of the security optics of the place. So she's the highest ranking person there. So it's her call. If there's not sufficient barriers there, that's her fault.
Event started at about 3:15. It did involve a man driving a pickup truck down Bourbon Street at a very fast pace, and it was very intentional behavior. This man was trying to run over as many people as he possibly could. It was not a DUI situation. He was hell-bent on creating the carnage and the damage that he did.
You know what she was doing prior to this happening? Check this out. Let's turn off the sound because it's some Taylor Swift shit. So this is her right here, just dancing. New Orleans Police Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick stopped to dance with some of her staff in exchange for a few friendship bracelets with kids and officers on duty, and she patrolled outside the Superdome yesterday at the Taylor Swift concert. So this is the highest ranking officer in New Orleans Police Department. She's the one who made the call to put up these plastic barriers you could flick over. Again, put 2 police SUVs there. And this doesn't happen. I don't care what barrier you have there. I don't care if you don't have your metal barrier built yet. And like, this is the excuse that they're throwing around right now, which is crazy to me.
Public Works, okay, listen to this. They were upgrading the bollards along a section of Bourbon Street where this attack occurred. So they were trying to replace those old things that kind of, block traffic. They're those little, they were plastic, I guess. They were trying to replace them with stainless steel, according to some of the reports we were reading. So back out here in the newsroom, they were trying to replace those. So that's what could have led to those barricades possibly not being in the right places, we're being told, if this driver was able to somehow go around those barricades on a night when there were thousands of people in the street.
Yeah, this was a public works program that started November 18th.
Yeah.
And was supposed to be scheduled to be done early this year. So that is something we'll definitely be following.
It shouldn't be taking that long in the first place. But hey, it's 2024. There's a million ways to do this. But, they did have time to do. They had time to quickly cover the flag that was on the back of the truck. And it's reported that it's NICE's flag. So you're telling me you didn't have the presence of mind to say, hey, maybe these plastic barriers that you could flick over with your finger, maybe that's not a safe thing to put as the main barrier of defense between thousands of people and potential terrorists. But they jumped right to it and cover up the flag of the guy who just ran people over to hide his identity, to hide who he's working with or what he supports. What the fuck is that about? What are you thinking? And again, this is like a Butler, Pennsylvania Trump situation. Like there's this lady that I just showed you, she's like Kimberly Cheadle. And by the way, she used to be the police superintendent for Oakland, California. What? Like, she's obviously a DEI hire, I'm sure. Like, I can't imagine that anybody in the department respects her just based off the way she talks and the way she looks and the way she acts. But now people are dead because of it. But then here's the really weird thing. So we're seeing everything saying that these barriers weren't up, they weren't ready yet, they were still being built. That was just plastic barriers. But then you get this video that's fairly new, and they're talking like the thing's there already.
Doug McCatch, I'm with NOLA.com, and lately I've been writing about the mayor and governor's proposals to make the French Quarter safer. And one of those proposals was to have mechanical barriers that would prevent vehicles from approaching Bourbon Street after certain hours.
So we take it down this view. Here you go. You ready? You ready? That's exciting.
There were terrorist attacks in Nice and in Berlin where terrorists used trucks as weapons. And this is supposed to protect us from that.
I don't think it's that bad of an idea. Keeps cars from running us over when we're drunk, right?
I mean, am I crazy, or does it look like you could just drive a car around that? But forget that part. This thing is there in the video. This is what they're talking about. So what, is this a different location? Like, because the way the street's set up, it's a straight line. There's two entrances to address it, to go about it from a straight line. So is this thing there or not there? Again, this is why people start to say conspiracy shit. It's hard to imagine that people are this stupid. But this lady, here, let me pull her up again. Ann Kirkpatrick, in my eyes, I'm more upset with her than the terrorist. Because again, terrorists are going to do evil things. You expect that of them, but you expect law enforcement to stop that. I mean, it's not like the guy did this elaborate attack where he, steals a helicopter nearby and starts blasting everybody from overhead, something you could have never imagined. It's literally the simplest attack possible, and there's literally measures put in place to stop exactly that. It's an attack as old as time, but you leave it open and you make the decision to put plastic barriers there and think that that's okay. This is either evil or negligence to the point of needing to be arrested and tried. Like this lady, throw a book at her, make an example out of her. DEI hire, like you're too old and too frail and too stupid to be in this position. I'd be saying this about anybody who this happened to, but she just happens to not look the part. And listen very closely to this, because this is where they're saying two different things. This is where the story is breaking apart and something is wrong here. Listen to what she says. Listen very closely to this.
We had over 300 officers out here. And because of the intentional mindset of this perpetrator who went around our barricades.
So the guy earlier in the video is saying that witnesses said that there were no barricades, or they went through the plastic barricades. She's saying that he went around the barricades, which, like I said, in that video where they were showing the demo of the thing, You could clearly go around it. Here, look, I'll pull it up again even. So right there, look, you could fit a car through that. And if you're the police, you have 300 police officers there. Why is there not a car right there? Why is there not a police car horizontally parked right there? It's not rocket science. Like, there's more than the space of a car right here. You can't put a police car there? Like, this is crazy simple stuff. Let's see if we can get another angle. Yeah, same spot. Can't get one through there. Look, I think you could fit a car through that. So I don't know. I don't like this. I don't trust this, not one bit. I don't like that they covered up the flag of the terrorist truck. It's strange. Some reports are saying that he came across the Mexican border in November. Some reports are saying that he was born in Texas, that he was served in the army. And then I don't like that some witnesses are saying that he drove through the plastic barrier when there's a metal barrier here in this video, and then the police lieutenant or whatever is saying that he went around this barrier. So something wrong. Again, this is why people don't trust the government. This is why people form different theories that they try to label and slander as conspiracies when you're just not giving us a straight answer. Like, you didn't handle the situation in a logical way. Now you're not telling us what people are saying. Like, you're saying something different than what people are saying they saw. So let me know what you think, and please like and subscribe if you want to stay current with these updates. Thank you for watching. Talk to you later. And you can connect me on Minnect if you want to share any information with me directly, or if you want to ask any questions about this. Link below.